In case I was so, I mean, why I will say 1,000 soul harvest, be part. Be part of 1,000 soul harvest, obey a part of 1,000 soul harvest, Now, wow. And this year, and so, out for your program, your program, our Germany, na Hamburg, and your program, you say, baby program never cost so or Hamburg. Na 4 days, 1 day air baptism, 3 days a massive crusade about evangelism, how to win souls for Christ. And so crusade na mo no yebehunu onyankopon sa ai tutu ahomone esa yare nti enya asem keto akra so crusade ni nye for holiness for nko for sinners. Uma adwot bo ano uma mote mpena twemu mote boni mu omunti na yekoye sa crusade no enye wo mo hu adware dada no enye wo mu a Bible say Yesu ka kire siafo no o se de odi ke hu na adware dada no ana ono ohia adware bio di aka na ye kasa kire arafo ye ko ahoma no sisi a na ye di nkomo afa jewels anase komade ne de ade toto yensa ne nsumade ne eno de aka ache bere ya taka bia ye ka mo se antwifo de ene atuntumfo de bia no mo bibi ka ade fa ho bo we mene wo kwa kodi nkomo ade afri eye Pastor Joe Cruz ona obekasa ade afa eye jewel ana wedding rings ne nsumade ene ade no enti tie pa nefa Bible. Where is your Bible? Media nie also for Bible na yentie eye sermon ya ode mani yentie infinimo yanko yakwa kwakuti why
Tonight is what does God think about the wearing of makeup and jewelry? Not what Joe Cruz or anybody else thinks. What does God think? Does he like it? Or does he dislike it? And I say, friends, if we can find the answer to that question in the Bible, we've got the answer to the question that came in the question box, haven't we? We ought to have it. I hope we have it if we can find that out. Now, what does the Bible say? Does God give us any hints or indications here in the Bible as to what he thinks about this practice? Well, I'm going to go right through the Bible, reading a number of verses tonight. And by the way, all of these verses will be in a little book that will be handed out as you leave the meeting today. And this will contain every text that I'm going to give right now, plus a lot more as well. I think about 46 texts. So if you don't get to write these down, you will get them all as you leave. This will be given one to a family as you go out from the meeting today. But now, the first text I'd like to read is found in the first book of the Bible, Genesis chapter 35. And God said unto Jacob, Arise, go up to Bethel, and dwell there, and make there an altar unto God that appeared to thee when thou fleddest in the face of Esau thy brother. Then Jacob said unto his household and to all that were with him, Put away the strange gods that are among you, and be clean, and change your garments. And let us arise and go up to Bethel, and I will make there an altar unto God, who answered me in the day of my distress, and was with me in the way which I went. And they gave unto Jacob all the strange gods which were in their hand, and all their earrings which were in their ears, and Jacob hid them under the oak which was by Shechem. Now this Bethel is a place where Jacob was converted. Remember that? It's where he struggled with the angel and became a new man out there. And now he's taking his family back to that sacred spot and to build an altar there to worship God and to dedicate his family at that holy place. But before he went up there to take his family, they laid aside these things, the ornaments, and in fact, they buried them there, it says. They got rid of the strange gods which were in their hand and the earrings which were in their ears. And then they went up to the altar of God after burying those things there and going to the altar. Now, I gather, friends, that they had a good reason for this. We're going to find as we go on reading in the Bible, both Old and New Testament, that these things were marks of the heathen people and that God did not approve of these things. All right, now this is what you're going to notice as we go along. When they went up to dedicate their lives, they laid aside those things, buried them, and then went up to the altar of God. You come on to the next chapter of the Bible in Exodus and chapter 33. Exodus 33. Here the Israelites are headed toward the promised land. Verse 1, the Lord said to Moses, depart and go up hence. Verse 2, and I will send an angel before thee, and I will drive out the Canaanite, the Amorite, the Hittite, the Perizzite, the Hivite, and the Jebusite, unto a land flowing with milk and honey. For I will not go up in the midst of thee, for thou art a stiff-necked people, lest I consume thee in the way. And when the people heard these evil tidings, they mourned, and no man did put on him his ornaments. For the Lord had said unto Moses, say unto the children of Israel, ye are a stiff-necked people. I will come up into the midst of thee in a moment and consume thee. Therefore now put off thy ornaments from thee, that I may know what to do unto thee. And the children of Israel stripped themselves of their ornaments by the Mount Horeb. Now, friends, before they could go into the promised land, God made them take off their ornaments. You say, well, now, what does that have to do with us? You know, that's something happened way back in the Old Testament. It has no application today to the people living under the New Covenant here in the New Testament times. Well, friends, let's find out if it has anything to do with us. Please come to the New Testament now, 1 Corinthians 10, and the first few verses. And here we read something very interesting about the Israelites as they came up out of Egypt, referring back to that same time I read just now in the book of Exodus. It talks here about how they went through the Red Sea, and they came in verse 7. It says, in verse 6 rather, now these things were our examples. Talking about the Israelites as they began their journey to the promised land. Now these things were our examples to the intent we should not lust after evil things as they lusted, neither be idolaters as were some of them, neither let us commit fornication as some of them committed, neither let us tempt Christ as some of them also tempted, neither murmur ye as some of them murmured. Verse 11, now all these things happened unto them for examples, and they're written for our admonition, upon whom the ends of the world are come. Now listen, everything that happened to that ancient nation of Israel happened as an example for us, friends. There is a direct parallel between ancient Israel and modern Israel. We're modern Israel, you see. And their coming out of the bondage of Egypt represents our coming out of the bondage of sin. Their crossing the Red Sea represents baptism for us, because it says right here, and they were all baptized unto Moses and the cloud and the sea. So that represents baptism for us. Their going through the wilderness represents our going through this old dark world of sin. And their coming into Canaan represents our coming into the heavenly Canaan. See? Beautiful parallel. And it says it all happened for an example for us. And so when we come back here and read that before they could go into the land of Canaan, they had to lay aside their ornaments. My friends, there is a
Arafo nyami ensha miguso and for the benefit of those omuntimi ente eya kasani dia backle but eya brofuni enti eya pastor Joe Crew oye obia oye world known preacher pa na pastor Joe Crew kasembi e dey atrese jewels and also makeups eya for the pagans. Tiaka pagans are the empire ebaye no empire ebi area Roman Empire omoye for the pagans because omonya original from the Jewish and the pagans na ebi so free the Egyptians almost here for the pagans. Now as I say echo to the Bible verse edit the book of Genesis chapter 35 now explain bibi dia tire and I watch about Jacob Ekatsa ne yere Rahel ana Rachel one Lee so omunyi woman janum na de ne emfam firi wo ho okotu sa verse no obekotu the book of Exodus 33 na ochre 33 verse 6 no awurade ka kire Israelfo ne say before say miasa fro ade meba mu ntan no yise muyi mu ho akade no etotwene ansa na me awurade maba na pastor yi kira de bi ade akire wo say Enunti Paul Ebekai, the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse number 8 to 11. May 11 and kwa ere diatre. Or say 11 or say na yenu nyina ama waye nhweso na wachre no say efutuo ama yen ewiase ebre ewie no ato yen. Enti what transpire in the days of Moses, ebe pem yensuye no. Said ya tresem ne kan Paul say etuomo send ya beye example an example to us. Send an example to us. Enti ya shedie eto wo mu no a ye wurade ka kire so won pe no and yen so abe example to us. To tia no watie ne ye. We say okuta 44 verses. 44 verses. Dear dance here say jewels and now say makeups. For the pagans. Now, if indeed, okay, 8 in Ebana, and now 6 now, I'll say, I mean, kind verse 5, I'll say, now so one move for Ekasiano Ara and Sonya Coupon any. Now, what draw on one sereno. Now, the yenum aye, and Shaswa amayen. Now, yen con, or say, na yen. Kon are not bonnet, said ye won't con doy, no. Into all these things, no. Onyamedi si was send ye bear your con and not bonnet. Said ye day, your con and not bonnet. Into tear in some year walking. This is an example for this generation. So when you sika, but modern first sikano. Fire do ya fako dancer or the beto sanya man. Odi yentie. If I so what a yedia and yes, a Ghana for an Africa for and a debut moka. But where dear, where's your brony and a trained dear? And they actually say, or you're one of the well-known preacher. If I do yentie.
Allow, I really believe that it's an indication of what pleases the Lord. Now you come on down to 2 Kings 9. And verse 30, and we find the first recorded instance of the use of colorful cosmetics. Now, this is the first either inside or outside the Bible. We don't have any record even from secular history of any earlier use of colorful cosmetics in this text right here in 2 Kings 9:30. And when Jehu was come to Jezreel, Jezebel heard of it, and she painted her face and tied her head and looked out at a window. That's the first record we have of a woman painting her face. And it was Jezebel doing it. You know who Jezebel was? Not a very savory character, was she? She destroyed hundreds of God's prophets and was a very, very wicked woman, of course. And I know my dear old Baptist father used to say she's painted up like Jezebel. Have you heard that expression? This is where it came from, of course, because she apparently originated the practice, as far as we know, because it's the earliest known instance of it. Well, we can come on over into the many writings of the prophets. We come, for example, to Isaiah chapter 3, and notice a very interesting record here about the daughters of Zion. Verse 16 says, moreover, the Lord saith, because the daughters of Zion are haughty, and walk with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes, walking and mincing as they go, and making a tinkling with their feet. Verse 18, and that day the Lord will take away the bravery of their tinkling ornaments about their feet, and their calls and their round tires like the moon, the chains and the bracelets and the mufflers, the bonnets and the ornaments of the legs and the headbands and the tablets and the earrings, the rings and nose jewels. Now some of these we don't even recognize. They're oriental objects of adornment. Over in India, for example, where I lived for 5 years, you see all of these things. They have the nose jewels, of course, that are mentioned here, and the bangles and everything else covering their bodies. And after describing the fact that the daughters of Zion were wearing these things, come on down a few verses now and see what God thought about it, what he said about it. In chapter 4, verses 2 to 4. In that day shall the branch of the Lord be beautiful and glorious, and the fruit of the earth shall be excellent and comely for them that are escaped of Israel. And it shall come to pass that he that is left in Zion and he that remaineth in Jerusalem shall be called holy, even every one that's written among the living in Jerusalem, when the Lord shall have washed away the filth of the daughters of Zion, and shall have purged the blood of Jerusalem from the midst thereof by the spirit of judgment, by the spirit of burning. God says, I'm going to wash away the filth of the daughters of Zion, after describing it, of course. And then he said the ones that are left are going to be holy and beautiful and glorious and comely, which means good looking. You know, the women put these things on to make themselves good looking. But God apparently doesn't see things the way we do, friends. And he said, I'm going to wash away the filth of these daughters of Zion. And then he says those that are left are going to be comely and beautiful and glorious and holy. So we get a pretty good idea here, again, of the way God looked upon these things. Now, notice he says here, rings. He says rings. Now, I've had people say to me, I've had a high school senior say to me, well, you know, God wasn't talking about my class ring because that's not really an ornament. That's a symbol of my being a senior. So he wasn't talking about that. He was talking about other kinds of rings. And then I've had Masons say the same thing. You know, they have a Masonic ring and they say, well, you know, my ring signifies the fact I belong to the lodge. And so God wasn't talking about this ring. He was talking about other rings. And then, of course, there's the birthstone ring and the friendship ring and the engagement ring and the wedding ring, and you could go right on down the list. And it would be easy, I think, for any of us to say, well, you know, God wasn't talking about the one I got on. He was talking about everybody else's. Now, friends, what are we trying to find out here as we read these verses? We're trying to find out how to please the Lord. Is that right? Not how to get around pleasing Him. See, we're trying to find out how to please Him. Now, I can quibble over the kind of ornaments I'm wearing, the kind of rings, and I can say, well, God didn't mean this. But friends, I don't want to run any risk of displeasing God. Do you? I'm trying to find out how to please Him. I'm not trying to find out how much I can get by with and still make it to heaven. Now, God is not saying here, you take that off or else. No, He's not. All He's doing is giving us some hints and some indications of what He likes and what pleases Him. And what I'm saying is, friends, if we love Jesus with all our heart, we'll want to do the thing that pleases Him, and we'll not want to run any risk of displeasing Him. That's what I believe. Now, sometimes people say, well, Brother Joe, what about the wedding ring? You know, that one really is a sort of a sacred thing. Well, do you find anything in the Bible, my friends, about any sign or symbol of being married? You find anything in the Bible about that? Do you know what a marriage is made up of? Promises that two people make to each other. Isn't that right? Promises. Do you know where that wedding ring came from? Let me read you something interesting. I've got here in my hand a page out of the book by Cardinal John Newman, one of the princes of the cardinals of the Catholic Church. He wrote a book entitled An Essay on the Development of Christian Doctrine. And in this book, he gave some very interesting statements about how paganism came in from sun worship into the Catholic Church. Here's the statement he makes in this book. He said, Constantine, in order to recommend the new religion to the heathen, transferred into it the outward ornaments to which they had been accustomed in their own. Now, here's a cardinal of the church saying that when Constantine came into the Catholic Church, he brought a lot of pagan things with him. He says, it is not necessary to go into a subject which the diligence of Protestant writers has made familiar to most of us. The use of temples, and these dedicated to particular saints, incense, candles, holy water, asylums, processions, the ring in marriage, turning to the east, images at a later date are all of pagan origin and sanctified by their adoption into the church. Now, friends, that ring originally represented the disk of the sun. It was worn by the pagan sun worshippers to honor their sun god and to be with them constantly to remind them of the disk of the sun. And when Constantine brought all these pagan objects into the church, he brought that ring with him, and the nuns of the church began to wear it to represent being married to Christ or married to the church. And from there, it passed into Protestantism as a sign of marriage. But it's not in the Bible at all. I know people who think that they don't have that little piece of metal on their finger. They're not married. And they pull it off at times and say they're not married. Well, now, friends, you're married because you make vows to God and to each other. That's what marriage is. And that little ring doesn't mean a thing. I don't have to prove that I'm faithful to my wife.
Amen. Oh, asama aye Pastor Joe Hugh Ekanwasami or describe about rings and also can make us one some no or can be edify. I had the book of 2 Kings chapter 9 and verse number 30. Makeups is for Jezebel. We know how and what Jezebel, you know what to me here. Jezebel was one of the wicked person in the Bible. Oba no ye be mu be fa. Sana na Bible na eka. Jezebel isu eno. Onu na di kan ede makeups eba Bible. Or you're very wicked. Now at that time no or worry ababa wabia. oware abrante bia no ono ne din de Ahab na omo ewo Samaria na ono aye the first woman oye queen o Israel obi bia nim say emema nko na edi so na so oba di so no teniku na chi so no na edi so no ye ochen be yie pa okunyame adifo nyina okunyankopon adifo nyina aha Jezebel enkonkoda o kire se eye Bible mu no ye ka seniorship a omna na esise ring na seniorship na no mo se ring and there's nobody na nyankopon ehunhum tini mu a o se ring da ni nyina na e pagans no o at the time of King Ahasuerus mu a King Atacha mu a tama Israel for no konkwaso mu a sankofo na ese Pharaoh mu na ese nti Pharaoh mu no me pagans tie me bio osa eka bibi edefa a ring na you say wedding ring no oka bibi ka ho say for the Roman Empire no Constantine on the be saade mo no na ono ba ye no ni mu na ode holy oil e ba ye ode holy folder altar enso e ba any folder holy I can say candle enso ba ye candle le the worship on the ba ye ono ana sade be mane oba ring enso e ba ye enti se obibia else e the ring esen insa e dia dance se ring no aware a nyame e dia atum dia ene ese se the same people no de ba ya ne didi Constantine na oye pagan worship or worship the sun no ese se mu amaje ring atumo ensumade e dia atumo no ese se mo nso mu use folder water anasa mu use anointing oil anasa mu use holy water anasa mu use candle because the same person or no and a day a ring ebaye ko Roman na ko hu mabakosem say ring efiri hin ebaye omu ni originator efiri omu ho ebaye enti a pastor entimi sore empreach say candle enye say oil enye say folder water enye abra o say ring ebasa na we yesu be catch us say we a hypocrite. A short statement. Yes, Bekacho said, you are hypocrite. When you chief one corner, they be a kind Beka said, and I be before, and I be before, and I be before. Song of Solomon 1 verse 5. Solomon said, me a tuntum. Yea, a tuntum for. And the Bible never be declare. Eddie Atre said, Sanyama wedding in our pagans, Omodia. Inti yanko na yentie o se Constantine ona di we nyina abaye a worship awia ona di we abaye na bibia ni o se asomo kan wa na mpese to trimpa ye no o se aware enya yes we ene di adanse e nyankopon ne di aware mu adanse nyankopon ene di aware mu adanse enya ring ene di aware mu adanse. So ababa bo adwaman ana abama bo adwaman a enya ring ene bama wo kaso mo adwaman enya misuro ene mo ntimi nya saa niema nti saa niema na ye de kan ye ho no obi a oyisu bibia na o se ono wakotena India ho ene China wawe okwo ho a omo de asunka ene hunumuka tese ba bibia ye de afa tie bio
to the public. I don't have to prove to anybody. I keep my promises. I'm faithful because of the promises I made. But I just mentioned this to give you a little background and to show you that we don't have to quibble over the kind, whether it's a class ring, a Masonic ring, or any other ring. I say, let's give God the benefit of the doubt. Why run a risk of displeasing Him? And if He doesn't like rings, let's say, well, that's it. We won't bother with any of them. Come on down to the next book of the Bible, which is Jeremiah, chapter 4, verse 30. And when thou art spoiled, what wilt thou do? Though thou clothest thyself with crimson, though thou deckest thee with ornaments of gold, though thou rentest thy face with painting, in vain shalt thou make thyself fair. Thy lovers will despise thee, they will seek thy life. Now, all through the Bible, God uses a woman to represent the church. Remember that? a woman to represent the church. He's married to the church. She's the bride. He's the bridegroom. And he uses this woman to symbolize the relationship with his faithful people. But friends, when his people became unfaithful and turned away from him, how do you think the woman is represented, the bride of Christ? She's represented as going after her lovers and becoming unfaithful to him, see? And in every case that I can read here in the prophets, my friends, when she turns away symbolically from her husband to go after her lovers, she puts on all of the adornments. In other words, it's used in the Bible as a symbol of apostasy and a symbol of unfaithfulness. Here he's talking about his bride, and he says, thy lovers will despise thee, though you clothe yourself with ornaments of gold and rent your face with painting. He says, they will despise thee, they'll seek thy life. Going on into the next book of the prophets, in Ezekiel chapter 23, he uses two women here to represent Judah and Israel in verse 36. He gives them names even. He said, the Lord said, moreover unto me, son of man, wilt thou judge Aholah and Aholibah? Yea, declare unto them their abominations, that they've committed adultery. And verse 40, and furthermore, that ye have sent for men to come from far, unto whom a messenger was sent. And lo, they came, for whom thou didst wash thyself, paintest thy eyes, and deckest thyself with ornaments. He said, you've turned away from me. You've gone after your lovers. And you've put on all these things and have become unfaithful to me. You find that same thought repeated again in the little book of Hosea, chapter 2, and verse 13. And I will visit upon her the days of Balaam, wherein she burned incense to them, and she decked herself with her earrings and her jewels, and she went after her lovers and forgot me, saith the Lord. Same thing again, turning away from him, going off to commit spiritual adultery, and putting on all these things which are used in the Bible as a symbol of unfaithfulness. Coming over into the New Testament, we find similar statements. In 1 Peter 3, 1-3, likewise, ye wives, be in subjection to your own husbands, that if any obey not the word, they also may without the word be won by the conversation of the wives. And this word conversation, of course, is a word meaning the deportment, the conduct, not just the speech, but rather the whole way of life. While they behold your chaste conversation coupled with fear, whose adorning, let it not be that outward adorning of plaiting the hair and of wearing of gold. Now, this word plating, by the way, is a Greek word meaning to weave ornaments into the hair. See, the word here is plating, and there's another use of it we'll read now in Timothy in just a moment. But it says, let it be the hidden man of the heart, and that which is not corruptible, even the ornament of a meek and quiet spirit. Then we come back to Timothy here. First Timothy 2, verse 9. It says, in like manner also, that women adorn themselves in modest apparel, with shamefacedness and sobriety, not with broided hair or gold or pearls. And this word broided, that's the word I was thinking of. Plated in Peter, and here it's broided, but it's the same original word, meaning the weaving of ornaments into. So it says, not with this, but which becometh women professing godliness with good works. So these are just a few texts now. And friends, to me, these give, and this is not all of them by any means. You'll find most of them, though, in the little book you'll receive. But I've just read enough to show you the hints that are given in the Bible. And I think they're a little more than hints, really. I think they're more than little hints and indication. Now, somebody may say, well, Brother Joe, you know, that's a little thing. You're talking about a small, little, inconsequential thing. Of course it is. Well, let me ask you something, Riz. How do you show your love the most? By the big things or the little things you do? Well, you ask any lady. You know, I'm sure my wife would appreciate a new washing machine or a new dryer for her birthday. But if I came in one day with a little bunch of hand-picked flowers that I'd gone out in the field and gathered for her, and come in and say, honey, I'm going to dry the dishes for you today, she would appreciate that a lot more than the washer or dryer. She really would. It would show my love for her a lot more, because she would know that I'd never go out and pick those flowers for any other reason except that I wanted to please her and show my love to her. It's in those little things, folks, that we do that really show our love. You may think this is a small matter. Maybe it is. But I believe it's in those small things that we really show our true love to God and our willingness to put Him above ourselves.
Oyame ensira no. Pastor, Jokri ena yete ne nka se oye sermon ede afa jewels and makeup say for the pagans, those who doesn't know God and those who doesn't understand the real meaning of be real to yourself. Eni kwan say ode ebibi keka jewels. Be are for those our so go to Bible verse from Genesis chapter 35 verse 3 to 5, Exodus chapter 33 verse 1 to 6, Second Corinthians, First Corinthians chapter 10 verse 11, Second Kings chapter 5, Second Kings chapter 9 verse 30, Isaiah chapter 3 verse 16 and 18, Jeremiah chapter 4 verse 30, Ezekiel chapter 16 23 to 36, Hosea chapter 2 verse 13, First Peter chapter 3 verse 1 to 3, First Timothy chapter 2 and verse number 9. Na megura me yesem de bi kan kan be be ka ho pa. Wan ka awie we a short one and de ka ho. Adofo na explanation na ode amaye no if he say enye ye nko a enye twifo nko a Buddhism for no ode mo amoti akontom no bon se mokọ mokọtọ aduane a bon se ya na omo Buddha esiwo na ne fu kakraka no eye gold nko a gold nko a enum bia na nkofo wi a mo papai no mo de aye nsomade ne ade no mo de ama nkofo ase gold nko a ebi so okra na so obi kotu gold mpo de afiri fom a oman ga na mamusi bebresi this omu twa odwan the moja gu fom ansa no metime to gold this omu ye erade na ye ma ye berenya de erade ye ma ye bia no enenne ebetimi aka che se ehu onfaso ma ye yesai no mesi ye dai yesai no na ye good e de manipa but yesai no just like age e ye manipa se enkase ye nyini pa atenten ye nyini pa no but ani say age obu 15 na 13 ne 10 na wawu yesai no ayo bonsam enti 1 Corinthians chapter 10 verse 6 to 11 or say the see our previous no ever an example to us. Sisenya rejected the Israelites when they were coming from Egypt to the promised land. Now omu yomu fi kaso mu yomu fi a omu de sa sika kokko no e de cover themselves omu sa de kosom obosom ana abosom they were this semempe because okay, in the book of Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 25 to 26 at the point in time now Israel for ne kokumu atamfo rade ka kire won se mukumu won a monhwe wie no manfo magudie ni bia ma won chen because that time na pagans no do ma agudie no e na esom eya awonhom no ti mom ye nhwe ni yi we enye ono nko a as time goes on obete se enye abibifo nko na eka ewurade so eyi e de akire abrofo no because ekwana ye kọ no eye nipa ketua bi nti no bebire ne ntiase otewa yensum nyankopon wo miankasa mepe ne mu yesum nyame wo de mempe ompe because bible we no de begina so bebu onipa bia atan bible no begina so bebu onipa bia atan nti wuni mu a konkotodwe na ewurade nkyerɛw rather than say obefa ne say sa na obi a ye ntimi sum ye bi ene mu a mo hyehyɛ trouser manim ye miamo ma mo hyehyɛ trouser no eno so enye be ma wo so hye trouser na wo nyina ewo mu no bi wo timi hye ayi skin tight pa na ode ni nyina no enye monhwɛ na monye bibia eye onyame enhyirawo we de wate enye menko a ena wote firi bi ho wunse ote ayi mo sian Ghana for ne Nigeria for ne de akọ ma eno no enye saa why enye saa ye be kọ ahoma ne so na yasa akwa kudi nkomo ewe se ene eye pastor ebedi nkomo but so far there according to pastor Jokri omeye hunu say all these things no ɛyɛ Constantine ɛna de baayɛ ɛyɛ for the pagans worship ɔmo na de wei nyina ɛbaayɛ ɛmmoa koraa nti yɛ try sɛ yɛbɛkɔ ahoma no so na yɛtumi ɛde deɛ ɔwɔ nyinaa ɛde aba na mekae mo sɛ nyame boa a akratwe ɛho hia akratwe ho hia akratwe ɛho hia 1000 so harvest no bɔmɔden ne wura mu bi 1000 hooks okay ye baba bɛkɔ ahoma ne so na yɛne ɛyɛ pastor Kumi Achia edi nkɔmɔ ahwɛ deɛ pastor ɛnɛ bia nyame adom ne ho ɛyɛ kakra pastor me pacho na bibia bɔkɔ yada awurade ase adɔfo pastor we de one mantem na yɛne pastor Juwelry ɔno do yɛ broni yɛne no edi ne nkɔmɔ bi na ne sɛm bi ɔyɛyɛ ɛna na yɛtie na pastor na ɔka bibi ɛdefa asomadeɛ ɛne chains ne rings ne ho ade no na ɔsɛ ɛyɛ for pagans no ɛna ɛyɛ ɔmo dia makeups ɛne minim sɛ saa deɛ no wonim deɛ special topic episode treat me obi atie bi
asmadene enkawa isu no nafi makeup any team meshes ayepo ne mani isu ni na no meshe da cheche
yo nyame akwa we dey be said that pemre na me no mienu aye sa program ne pa one of the topic wonim say kyerɛsɛm ne ka kyerɛ yɛ sɛ ɛma yɛ ni nipa dodo akyi ni akɔakɔyɛ bɔne but ewiase nyinaa ne edidie nipa ɛyɛ akyi ɛna ɔmo yɛ bɔne until otimu sɛ bi asɔfo we preach about holiness and righteousness but sɔfo no eyisu ne tiriwi no ɔmo yɛsɛm tiriwi no ɔmo yɛsɛm ɔsa yisu jewels into ofi sɛ ɛno ano everything is okay na ɛno na me pɛsɛ me no but so far yɛmɔ mpaeɛ na yɛmfa ɛne dwumadie no ɛhyɛ so Awurade ne aba nkɛse yɛbɔ mpaeɛ ɛda wase ɛyɛ ɔkɛse adom nyinaa wura nyame wo a woso no anim anyam obi ne wo nkyɛ mesrɛ wo ɛnɛ nso woasiesie da no de ato wɔ sɛ yɛmɛka nneɛma a ɛwɔ sum mu ɛmfa nkyerɛ wo mma na ɔmo nante wɔ kwan pa so na ɔmo nya kwa ɛmfa ma ne kraa menim sɛ woamfa nnom yɛ a yankasa ahoɔden ɛntimi nyɛ tumi nyina awura nyankopɔn yɛgya de aka nyinaa de sɛ w'anim no gya w'akoa so de sɛ wo nsa sɛ awurade kasafo ne tɛkyerɛma so ma ne kaka nneɛma wɔnkae nneɛma papa nneɛma a wɔyi de akyerɛ ne pɛn anaasɛ wɔhu no pɛn a wɔbɛtumi de ho nimdeɛ de ama wo ma na wɔbɛtumi afiri sum mu ka yɛn ho na ma ɔbɔfoɔ mɔ yɛn ho ban ma yɛn tɛkyerɛma ɛnka deɛ wahyɛ yɛmfa nhyɛ wo din kronkron animuonyam ɛda wase ɛwɔ Yesu Kristo din aburu din nyinaa so amen amen pastor bi a wɔnam sɛ na dede bi wɔ hɔ nti wobɛhwɛ ne yie ama yɛ okay bi ana bibi twitwi bi wɔ mu nti okay. Okay, arofo yene eye pastor Kumi Achia ena yenini edi nkomo ato so pastor ewo niema bebre opese wo boss wo ade kire ye won se waka bibi ade afa se enche sa program no so ne ebeye ade afa makeup jewels ena eniema ema de ye wo ho no ene etiriwi a yate bi to so ni nyina no oni ebedi nkomo in case also na on share program na me patro say na invite obi no ntie bi why na pastor we dia na we to so na e dia ma ye to so e fa anointing why your fake anointing why you know
no me da say and then so me to so that was evil anointing oil na e wo attend you
okay
na I clear for insurance so now me di kan So oils are made can once in oils are me the walk to know. Now me yet a ton. I mean yet oils no I saw 4 GB. I love 4 GB. It is 4 GB. I call 4 GB. A human me a bar. Now the better 340 as the other. Oils are me can once in anything I made by the coming so why you should be there? The South Korea say, the initiative has been already initiated to satanic kingdom. Hey! The man carry you, the man of you, the man fry you, the man to pay what you want. You have been initiated. And into my brother, who are some them, or who know one the initiating of our limit initiating. Hey! Before also, I wouldn't say what we have before.
Baby, I have before.
Awesome. Then the oils not need so and yet can make a one entity. Then we can up on cocoa. I'm one of the so be super. Show we and now about some super backward. So say the ground. Some say the oils will be pre above on thinking of the method. And now also one that oil fabra. What is on them was so fun and fun, Capoyolo. Also, one the Jacos will let me show us now. The Jacos will I took a second. Do you know that I also walk with UPS and what's on them all. And the one about all Wabi, who was on them was so far from Sanka, or so far from fire, but he couldn't tell who should be in the what 10 number to one make oil at the amount. And to show you. If you say what tongues will be meaning I'm not sure I the tongues will breathe. You got our tongues, and you tongues, and you demon tongues. And give me how far oil records one was touching iron, the lele de la Matatapoya. So what's that? The lele de la Matatapoya, with Bajo, or in the spirit of fire. I'm not the catch oil is not the Kitamon. They will win. You have more tongues, wouldn't say a tongues, just an ordinary tongues. And if you are here for me, you have to go to the room. You too, says the wood here, or you want to a young pocket here, not very Bible, or you go to get in for a pie. Ready to kill and say, if you are continuing to oil,
messages. Say, or say, Obibia, your initiative depending on maybe more witchcraft than so would you. I honor how many pay much over. Different types of you can make up there, you be out there. If you do that to hear it before after only one, the more I am, what you hear it, you know what news are before. Wow. To be topic now make us and make us up oil. Okay. Okay. So, you're sitting at your for the prevention to another what to play. So, you can't say, before to make a little bit of extra support. And I have been and she has support a bit. Say a bit like a planner. That's it. Or yet, I am a young man of the other, and I will run at the other. No one of the other. Aye. That's it. After you saw, I don't call them for the social. But the other way, we don't know the other way. And we got on and she got out of the way. She allowed little more than I know, and I am only done on the area. So I'm not the way. Baby, and then wait for me, I'll be up for the women wash. The yes, I find on Kuanso. Bless her, make it to me do it. We found out good one I can say when you was in TV another king of the Biafu. And then the part of I am a little couple of power already can do as I say. Do as I say. Do as I say. The taxes are all in Kappa. Then I say, oil good grammar come once of my every crowd won't be that. The one to be done in Cleveland, I saw for you super. Okay. But I shall do as I say. So, upward for us as all, yes, oil we are. I do not hear about 7 authorities men dead body.
7 authorities men dead body. The kind of time I'm better to say, Nippon Soma, every already to the everything. Yeah, no one will know every other Obia, why I can be my pain. Obia, why in a what did you call an why on him for be paying? Why a minister be paying? Why MP be paying? Obia, what did you be a can this on? Umiaka, Nippon, our woman, Nippon, our conscience. You bet try great from our conscience, so anyone will be in it. I told you, and Graham and so 7 children. One more and one you could see any. I could be out there and you go to and you could see any. I watch you know, Janos, Graham console. Or any could see now the one jar. Now, when you are free, back on the catchment. And do as I say. So it is a cat, do as I say, and for all you really blame for, and you be more. Near, in the mere watching and Canamia, or grandfather, nature, near my water, or you know. Wait here, Mrs. Bill Achino. We are all ready to be 7 authorities men dead bones. Now, Kola, console, one more jar, and no morning could see. I told them here to free back on a detriment. When you're coming, we had in another flat or tree, no one more. Anyway, yeah, all you are have a camel, and no, any do as I say. And do as I say, we put in the control with the prayer with the air as I fish. We are in their control with the near only Christo, everyone, if I shall wait in their control. You hear me say, only Christo. It is all Christ, Bible, and make it as they say, near or Timmy, so say the Amen. It's all Christ, Sally man in June, and into my own song, Yamia, so many years, not a wonderful about when you so inquiring. I say, another one, as I feel so unnecessary thing. Yeah, Oceania, and then the Uber here at action. That do as I see me. Yet, why are you fast at the year, Jura? The battle, and the year at Jura, I'm a one for Akasa and near my way in. So, do as I say, Korea, oil way, Ikita, air, commanding power. Now, putting the command with the Biblia, yeah, only Christo. I say, do as I say, something do as I say, no, okay. So, a buy to cool another era. Which means you are all win so it will get back be my ye. But you are all way back me up for little bit in a cheap. I want that and one of Fana. I asked so now for one new tell who yet would you. But I saw for a little bit good your work dinner cheap. Nippon dinner cheap will do another thing. The other several support, several support. They will be away. And you do as I say, you are so for the company and the same with you that way. So some you should start with the sorry. Which not the topic is not or Casa, the mind the deal of the battle, and the same members of the most of the way. Only I know be. And it's my idea, Sunday, my fear, bath for Yakoto, handkerchief, and also for. The bath for Yakoto tie, Eddie Ama, also for. Do as I say, here, near the company, as I say, and not now yet. There is a transfer, and so you should do as I say, as a man. The part of the opinion, why you should demand, and also for what you see. On one cata annually a area, the people are a area, and some
do as I say.
How are the mount carry you, get the mount, get the mount for you, put a copy with you. She has said, Yaria Chile, a mouse at the Bible, so, and son of Waku. Okay, and the queen should do as I say, Shannon Super. The battle, but the oil for float, how are you? If I don't be done about that,
there be Mitiopa.
The oil for float, oil with me, Tinga upward for a fellow, a game. Now, if you can do blow up on Timmy, but Timmy and some idiot. Oil may have done for 111. Formula 111. And I say the general citation oil. General citation oil. The common name at a wabonte is vision oil. Vision oil.
Okay.
This is also between you vision oil. Vision oil. Formula 111. And I say the general citation oil. Vision oil. Vision oil, you know, this year free now, seven demons turning to one being. Our money on what turning Nipa, and no man children they yet to be able to me. Our money on what turning Nipa, say so who you got to join now? One on them here, Jimano. I thought that let him on us not for you to place you already. No one can we have to take years to say, it's quite a few hours, man. I'm waiting. It is a opener, yet the idea was split on a doctor. Now, can only guarantee who are only guaranteed if you are freaking. It is a bazaar. So why is Manacha? Only split on a year apart for. Only no covenant for Asmana or Swan. No one catch them. The poor meeting, no air can't come. That's a make. No one to name the family was no problem. They are back. No problem. Just a new war. We will find some feeling to be on money. To make any computer, our master are visual. Continue not to do it. I'm making a meeting. Remember, I saw what you know. Apple. No, I am a parliament. The honest secretary is a parliament. Not a hotel. A minute of a small one in chain. Not a angel. Now, paralyzed, and now I tell you, you're sorry, I did demon and few. That's no one could say, down your middle.
Now, if I told where maybe what all angel or to me, if I told angel or to me, Bobby Musama, a bimoya mere to the sense of woo.
Said the whole truth to send the person and tell 1 year, but I'm a demon to send the person. So I don't cooperation be another power. And yes, it's not a yabon, and you want a yabon. The balance are physically, you are one of you. Now, in a spirit of our bound said, that's our clinical being. Straight in the clinical being, so I want to mean. What can I feel like to see Kara when you're making a man and son with you? But yeah. I walk with dynamic who's half one part because get to make you know. The cameras also and to let it be and what had to be enemy of that ability. I think from the tomato. So I go to Mafia. Roman here, so when we say, what can you do? They are saying now, and then me and you now, and so I'm not saying, I'm not going so. And to me, that come the other two are not what you are. Now, the government is sweater. We can't get one car of the fuel. We could never be able to win any panel or difficulty on top. And so, any bounty shot is a bar. And check what you're not to what you need. Down there, sorry, I'm at the farm. My care wouldn't have it for now to check here. Looking at down on the deck with at the end of the bar, and I don't know what the physical to me. Oh, yeah. The kind of talent to the shoot in an inside and then in our one. Let's say, meaning I eat demon. Okay. The last one, it's a warrior vision oil on a count that may have seen. The Mabon Demons Formula 111. General citation oil. And I say vision oil. So we are putting us at the amount. Babu Bossy, and Sana, what to me about obey oil. 3 million Samuja. 7 demons turn to human being. Also, so here, or also so, or Janina, and Abonia 21 live chameleons. Apostle Kotrema Ako Eduru Bako Onwe. Na wankata do odu e de woma asisi wo so. Sa na yemen na obiri ni na be from tree. And sana one oyi wa obinya no e na ye fle me say do as I say. We ba to sa oyi we. Opa say obanishiko planet dia to say ebia Sam, Moon, Mars, Mercury, Jupiter, Venus, Saturn, planet with the Albert where you saw on the other good in the Abanashako planet.
Wow.
Yeah, the Angel. I said, what can I use to initiate or make a beer only Christo?
Sorry. Kafra.
What in the city to be only Christo? I'm a lady. Me person actually initiation not in Okakra. One shadow so. Say, Opia Oya Okot at the piano. Sorry. While family Sam to Sukura, the Nikura show Kikisia, not a not dream. So the second initiating with the Astronatia, or better initiating brought in a Nikusia and show Kikin.
Hey.
Yes. So suffer up in here, looking at initiative.
Or okay, Keno.
Yes. Okay, I may say a life money to the castle of the brand new FIFA. Also, Tessamano. The Ghana and Sammy will power in some program and some. Obiana, no, not power to feel a new grammar. Power to feel any Nicosia, so program and Nicosia. The same is who from who shall make many sheet you. Make that you are many sheet you. With the medical reaction, who are making many sheet you. One PM at the fashion of making me Iowa. Nana, you are so for the greatest, every Wadana. And then, Madame Pierre begin in an say, so now, sorry, I put you nothing of I. So the American is not so what is that. So, now we shall sort of papa.
Amen.
Miss Rose. Yeah, any part of everything I say, I saw Papa again. I saw Papa again, I checked you, young people acted.
And non qua, I saw Papa, and the accident, and Yasam Qua, Bibianca would you.
Maybe I didn't initiate with money in a thousand and thank you, and you should be manipulating with the only Christo. You should say, oh, you're a church, the whole church member coming out of the I saw no Christo, then you have manipulation, not manipulate the church. Manipulation, no, I thought that it's in the country. It's in the front soul, it's in the front, it's in the far from a practice. That is the manipulating of Amma.
Sir?
Now, what I can't say, I'm sorry, I may have been a first by any so called man of God. Now, oh, yeah, I am a church now. The young man of God now, you also the Wapaka, what you have to do. No, near. And you are open there, Chimano. It is super women, Tawa. Now, the catch was a local very Christian here. And now, one day, the devil is the what check. As a shop fire in the first one, you know. And the rest of the stuff, we are free to do why you're from Olympiacos. Olympiacos.
Olympiacos.
Yeah, Olympiacos.
Olympics, Accra Great Olympics. And no more relegation, no. Ah, okay. I saw for the prayer one of possibly and continue to be attacked. The number to be out. And also, with the white
demons. The reason I say, and your mom, I can kill all dream, how a demons are fun, I can you swallow. I think I got you about the demons, the son of that. So I thought to be a song working you to contain me to them be me a minute kind demons in a kind of tea. She will be a tea boy in the battle. Vision on young women, a minute tomorrow, your own vision of good night.
Wow.
The Panatana of ship, but the real anarchy. If I talk that vision for you, sir, a good idea of six voices to say, or just for the Katana of fear. It really should. Every Panama shot, it really should start. Anyway, I was supposed to be able to be a shot many. And that's just voices. Not like you know, so orchestrate the Kata. It really gained many, nothing near be that was so something in a. After the 10th thing is to vision anyway, but then you have more vision. But that's creating us so I think I can't even be one from another. What me Eddie Ashton call.
Sir? Yo. A deep form of Muntia me. Aha. So utie me na say uyo bi a mokra don tumi fa sama na Ewrade be yi hu ntoma mama ehunu da ko ye ni abiri o ye be heaven akọ e be se ye adwuma na nyame bọ ni nsem ka se sa wo nkofo ha aha ti muntie pa ye e ba to nyame ni pa yan kasa Sir?
And I said, you know, I see it. And I said, you know, I had me. So, I am super waiting on more. I'm not only super waiting on someone and saying, can you start on more? Put your own beer for you, you know. And I said, look at the impediment. Yeah, I said, no, I'm not going to so and yet, never in another woman's level. Only two of them, and three sharp now, fire and cover a soft degree, and I'm not going to add that I am. And then you made it on the area. We are watching the whole course of war. The one when they are now, the whole tanker, who are put to a community so we are back. I already call a war. Get a chance to idea of that or so for 19 minutes. We are making when it's a year who's good, you know. Nanny, I'm a say, Anka, over 2 at the 3 or
Obisi mi sa question we. I say from Aya Jemima Darko, I see evangelist. Please ask this question for me. Why is the devil always using oil? I didn't think that Bonsande be using oil. Okay, I think questions are no na me person ka odi kan tackle was because adwuma no eye ne nkofo na eye obi bisa say ebe they'll say how then can you know a good prophet and a bad prophet if they are all doing the same miracle the same miracle and about go sub ebisa say say you
Papa, so ababoni na dia boni so ababa nso o tin kai ene Matthew chapter 12 verse number 33 o tin ma dia ne dia pana na banye ababa ana so mo dia ne dia boni na banye ababoni na dia na ababa no de bu dia so the set so o tin wu dia wa mo ya adibere fo yi mo be ye tell ka tin ya kan so pa
Very good, pa. Asona waka no muntie nie pa. Ana sike one obi bisa say, what about olive oil? Olive oil. Okay. Also for the meals now all work oil. Ordinary oil even cooking oil now they cook water. But on your to papa here, about what the gas so. When the sweet oil no do what is your initiative. And you're not careful, using oil. Now I never want to have you know, then the oil no. You know what you are the people on the battle to and you have to use oil. And you have to use oil. Okay. So I will go to the church, come to see. Mama, we are now, Mama, I'm not going to try to reach here. No, you're from oil. The battle with the person. One cate, elder of the church, or the elder of the church. You should do that. Elders. Elder of the church, yeah. Yes, you need. One cate of software, no one that will tell you. In church, let me say, or software, you need to do social software. I don't know, I'm anointing, I can't laugh at anyone. So we are out on that to the swap, and now you're practicing in the age. Now, I definitely can fly over into some social software. Yes, what is your money to get to them? And it's a software you are not that when you produce a typical software, what we are. No matter what kind of work can we see. Then you should I at the symbol of Holy Spirit. I am found. Not a broken of your man, not a whole of the papaya. Why, you can never be a guy who's and who comes to all the tire. I just say, Master the station, but my years to see. No, when you should try area, on the country, you say, you have to do our money, and go after I have flat on your area. Then don't use that. What will you your Holy Ghost baptism? The correct. But I have to spoil on your Holy Ghost baptism. You have a single quotation back down to them and say, well, you should only be happy. I'm not to know it's over, I'm not to know. She should buy you from Genesis up to Revelation, from a single quotation of chapter to do a month or more than Katana. If you only said the one at 1 month, or you know, I'm on two, then they apply a thing that you're on to, you could be a contract. And for me person obi was to be an ebese program no na ama nkofo enya enkyerɛkyerɛ bɛboa nipa bebree unim say so winning ya enra man of God na me ne asɔre ma ne ya asɔre ana me ne ye nyina ye ka sɛ mum ye nyina ye nkɔ apam na ye ni nyankopɔn kɔ apam sɛ awurade de bia no kai ye me ye mmɔ mpa ye emfa man nkofo omu kɔ hell awurade de bia ye sɛ de Noah enu nya apam na Abraham nu nya apam na Israel for nu nya apam no ye bese asua ni nyankopon ekọ apam sene ye be ya de bia da na Awurade drop infanto yakoma so na se ye bompa ya at least 1 minute 2 minutes kura na yen kai nkofo omu kọ hel dako omu kọ bebrebe Awurade me yenye stumbling block yen nyina na de bia yen kai wo mu na me nim se Awurade betie Sana meka tell say na nkyerɛkyerɛ ya ebe but modi na also say fatu emu obi na invite mu obi ntie sane ye be ya obeji nipa nkwa because obi ni mu a ebi ni so waka say many ewo witchcraft abra wo mu ni because we use oil for the altar ne nyama amonya asankofo no omunya massive deliverance because to me sa wo mu a help no ntimi nkobi as say o ya yemwa na send the message ne mo obi na nipa kono so nya enya bi share ema obi no ntie bi man of God mpacho yenko Danjuala. Na samala mfokwa de man of God obi anye papa da ana.
day for me to my Sunday magic woman. Magic was one day of it. So you should have oil, not in it, magic on them. Your mobile phone console. And I'm not buying another wallet, but your console, that's what also. I don't buy a dollar to what do not at least maybe a bear 50 Ghana, and now 20 Ghana, 10 Ghana, now the show will be. But I saw them on your bank. You should die one mamma, yes,
yes.
Teacher and so. So for you, yes, or the rest of Papa. Such a record for your son will shoot for. I said, I guess in the year that they cannot prove them.
Correct.
Every time I saw for in my own yet, I saw for Papa. We don't stop oil for vessel. Oh, no, we don't possible. Let's catch up. Yes, sir. Covenant oil.
All covenant
oil. Now, the green tie I want you to be in your general water oil.
Mamma water oil.
Mamma water oil. But the top of the afternoon, covenant oil. I'm a batch of the soup, mamma water oil. Or I want to don't get it. I saw what I think it's very much. And the new panel, mamma, the papa of the pirate, or soon your bay. I said, I couldn't sit down and know what I was in there. And yet, of course, for you, you actually did say, all covenant oil, look how cut off oil. When you should covenant oil, but I mean, I'm telling you, problem of what? What am I know what that? I mean, Yami or what is me, and I know what that. I know what that is, and that's covenant. If you really do not tell me, I used to covenant oil. I mean, I'm not paying, and I said, let's get it, what's that? What do you have to do? What do you have to do? I'm not sure if you have to what is demons of any of us? Covenant oil. You see, any demons, any of us. This is a bad year of else of money. Carry out some of Robert Mia Oiwa, et cetera. The Dachau, 7 black cats, Oja, a creating to Makuma Consol, Oja. A beautiful vitamin. It's coming about Animal. One side of the share, that I saw for my in a moment. You can't have a car radio to start and then do that blackboard for all your own damage to radio station. All the coming. Then they can't cost off. I yet on them, calling down already and some machine who got the case at fair. You know, they can have one out of you. I don't know the brain for the authorities and say, of course, no other back. What I said, the water will come in and go. Now, the one you want to remember again. When you are connecting to Makumako and so, I say, if you were there, I say, it's here, they are one of the people Makumako and so, it's here, I pay for 7 pregnant women. When you were there, and they are around baby, like in a private bath. I pay for Makumako and so, when you were there, and they are around not a private bath. Here. I say, you need 7 men love with their hearts. My mama come so anyone accord. Only they are not a private bath. Here, I know what that oil. Also, for the thing you should covenant oil. Covenant oil. The better is what you know, we repeat it. Also, when you're going to covenant oil around, we never find a cocoa. But now, when you want to know about the things that are, you should also put nothing to about the battle. I also put the after.
Man of God, a program on the July 25th to 28th, our Hamburg, about deliverance, healing, and the pure word of God. The two inside the flow. Yame buana se obetimi aba. Yebe ba invitation now as well, baby. Because program na enya asem keto pa. Yo hunu so bone afo na chichiri ni papa. Ke ewurade be nam so esane won so so. Yame nshira to asoma e.
The person that never win now, I'm best to be doing. I feel for our console. And what I want to say is a private part. And when Mamma console, or our private part. Many now, not even about that, and you're much nothing. One channel so far, why always Marjorie? Why always Marjorie? Channel so far, I think it's a question of answer.
Okay.
And most now without everyone, I was looking at one panel, and it's going to say, I'm not for you. So, you should be afraid and spirit. What you should be afraid to attack. If you look at that, you should buy a woman. Now, when you have a pen, I will practice it. Now, we will get out of the pen or whatever. Up to Lucifer. So, we have a king that now, Lucifer, I have a pen, I will keep it in Africa. I know what's happening now. Tell Lucifer, you don't know what's happening. You should only need to learn about that. Yeah. Lucifer, you don't know what happened. But I say, no, I like it, and I can't. I love the other. Okay, love the other. I do not answer. I know what happened. The young lady is a you don't know what happened. I know what happened. Ah, really? Do we have a economy? Now here, apart from demons, no, but a new encounter where you are, maybe some question can come. Yeah, dear, now more than pa, and for one more than. Lucifer, Beelzebub, actors. Yo. Elemental power. Water, earth, fire, air. Nations, demons, and nation stories. So everywhere, spiritual weakness in high places. Activities, planning committee, and the man Lucifer, also a striking force, and the man Lucifer. Then your vampire was yes to Christ of Nazareth. Any striking fall from Lucifer against me and my family, against me and my church members, against me and my relatives, I command you by the power and the anointing of the Holy Spirit to destroy you when yes to Christ of Nazareth. Destroy you when yes to Christ of Nazareth. Destroy you when yes to Christ of Nazareth. My God, my Lord, my God, my God. We come against you with the strong force of Jesus Christ. And we yes to Christ of Nazareth. Ever talk to us. Oh, out of one, HHSC. And me try some message view. Now intimate for uncle. A try some view. Number you have. Oh, the phone. No. I'm say I BBC. I may fresh. I said do. Yeah. But yeah, try say you better connect. No, out of four, baby, I'm on a bravo ye. So bet me every new bonnier for now. Only thing, and it's over Barbara boy, yeah, papa, be a man of prayer. Vampire de biada. Men vampire nyagro. Aha. Men vampire nyagro kra. Yeah, try see benya no na. Line no asa I busy. Aha. Me try pa. Men fe nyagro. Aha. Yenya pastor. Pastor line ete koi. Pastor mpacho sa to aso. Prosperity. Prosperity. Some after to say, Buddhist, Buddhist, Hindu, Christian, Muslims, if you want to have a lots of darkness of this world, Also, Omodiano, who read Psalm 91 verse 5 to 6, and that's your activity. If we are now about powers, also Omodiano say that the black politicians and are to me. And some what about white demons? I mean, come on, now I say to what about witchcraft. We try oil now also.
Okay.
You know, that's all I know what the oil now coconut oil. The end all coconut oil. All coconut oil. Me catch out that oil with near a woman who power anything. So spiritual and beer is super away in one war. Then China said, what do you think of the beer will them be demons anyway? We are not how you should coconut oil. And that's what accepted say. The beer will be demons looking for. Maybe I will be anyway, a spiritual man who is to covenant oil. Some of the demons who are coming, or you super oil, the piano. So, therefore, no matter that, spiritual instant, we are more than 10 our 30 years. It is almost spiritual man, demons, when you super oil, we did a chair. When you know, assignment for me. The who ordinary person, the man who are, he was reading with you. You will go on, only water or more money. Not more money, and don't suppose you might be able. You're making up a first on a Bible, or making up a packer on a Bible, or making up a factory of the how do you and you know, kingdom or Japan, or which you could be any grown up a year. Careful, and near Mama Ever.
Okay.
Why am I yet to me not retire?
Okay.
There is some of that following the 2 years about the years to look at the bar. Pretty soon, no on the oil begin a camp of natural study. If it is to do no way, it's in the years to dry, it's me on a ring at the mouth. So I let the Amanaya oil now, or a truck which is also a guitar. I say, if you years to dry, yet they are to a career plant. Brazil, eventually, I said, the amount of issue. You took any talisman, yet the oil we are the and then a citation, eventually, I had the amount, not an issue. The best thing is, I use already at the view, sorry, the to get a so deal, sorry, which means at the end. And when it's always so, every manner of disease and sickness, it means to perform miracle signs and wonders. I know what that oil. It means to be yes, I'm a covenant oil. You know, some people cannot be able to say, oh, I'm baby, or yeah, for a crowd, or one by the amount of covenant oil, money. They are pushing up with you, I will covenant oil, the other. I don't want to slow. But the covenant oil, the idea also to be a giant. To communicate, Johnny, in you know, at the papa, yes, I say, what's not 1 second, I'm a part of the green.
Marty.
And also Formula 1225.
Formula, I'm a church. Formula
1225. Or fumigation oil. Fumigation oil. Always oil for I'll throw that near oil, you know. In upper book, it says, we have 3 beautiful girls' blood. Now, look at that. Yeah, my dear.
I don't know. I say, yeah,
mommy and son was about the Moja. Nothing on private parts. We hear I told here 7 chameleon. Yeah, and also a light 7 chameleon. So that's the piano. I said, when you have 7 serpents, that is vipers. Well, now viper. And the Bible cut with clear. When I look at you, I'm going to outbreak. We hear and also my call a servant. And some of what's here is Formula 1225. Another fumigation oil. We are cleaning our battle over that frat mercury and a war honey. Not one more.
Marjorie.
Any oil, a friend say a fumigation oil. Because of oil way, put me at a straight team of any evil spirit beer. Mechanical, maybe I won't see after over Okotoma. Demons, original demons, they are teaching. You be a friend said demon. No one here friend said spirit. Not no one here friend said angel. The woman, your fallen angels, my dear Bena. Yet the decision to two women, sir. Not in the flesh, any demon, any spirit to be a. Yeah, friend of a piano, and say, Udimuchi, not a dog. This hour is so sad, theater fair. What women are, yet if you don't you see a ordinary person of a piano, demons, because how you will say, we that practice of Quran. Now, when you cook the China manager atonement now, the young can money we pay, and see a man oil is not Ugandi. But I tell you, open hell, a man of demons. Our right there is so not give you near the young man. Yeah, we are entering for any individual. I have a fornication oil. And this is something you should fornication oil, the man one that I told you now. When class, the other say, open hell gate. The any demon of the Guardia, it looks to you at any time.
Open hell gate amount. It's what open hell gate at the amount.
Commanding tones are within the commanding Nicodia only Christo. Every other, yes, or so far better for thee. Every Chicago, good little feel that it's a form number of some culture. Over me, I look up to my patio, or yes, of Papa, all the original ways. On yes, of Papa, Bakuran. You also be able to say, go to the Ruba, let me up on fire, may I talk to you. But I also go to a yes, I don't me, Machine, yes, of Papa. So here, the testimony on YouTube,
Mate.
Now, meaning I'm not trying to say on yes of Papa. And the Moncha Ariama will so a lot of issue to have formation oil. Which is a particular mechanism to use formation oil, our battle is or here is a Papa. Nan can do that or so for over issue. Sir, I saw for the graduate that the demons war, a Christian working to see, as well with me, we will see a pet. I say, my young oil, and my share is here in the corners and my corners of the house. Young oil to make a share corners and also some months. And yet I'm anointing oil, living in my home and go at now. I saw for that after what below. It's seen any problem to me, and demons will do it to you. If you feel with demons, if you feel the demons of Japanese, it's also the other time if I tell and it is sufficient of Papa. Then I go to the reasons you feel Papa, I won't let you see our mother. Hey, you are looking at the AFM. Some of them are about that. I'm not showing heaven, Aquadia, and the you lie. The Shekari, Mamma Elsopana, two and among Farmer Christo, not two face formation oil no formation oil the Jewish years back also everything. You do the salary the perform miracle and so miracle be at that for be at just 3 months and say you are really sign a chiba a bar and could you
a buy and could you
are really a better about a bar and three plan so it's bill. So formation oil you should the manual the battle so one pay. The bush and you take your one kata and not upa. Never chrono. Robert the Ghana and Robert wouldn't look out the pass of the Ghana and Robert.
Sir,
yeah, the water because straight idea, it's an hour this summer. Not a battery war, but they are more than any person who are and so this are a human channel. A human meeting won't get the pounds so and say, I'm working. Okay, he's who is sure he appears a chrono at the door of Bushia. And then to the very part of it. Oh, really, a better about of Madia die from home. Not a baba in the from Helena. One is here, I lot of money that it is you. As soon as I'm so watch out here. Wow. Property. Now, and far amount. The battle we share time and remember as soon we do this here. I don't really know. The guy was in a friendly view of the shop of it. A dear one channel. So let's not have you to you. You don't really be what you are making a capa at the apple. Now, about what the young people will never watch you. We do the capa coming and maybe be for everything. And I'm a perfect when he's that. If the Bible is a now. Well, some of my 4 actors. Two people as I finish my job, you know, when you almost a Christopher, and then you ask me also for, you ask me also for, so Papa no wine, so Borena wine. So when we talk, me up, I am so Papa. You have read the 721, or saying you want to tell that you are getting now, let a boss like a man. Don't you know, 1 hour a month or what's on a penny. Don't you show me a only Namia penny, Namia penny, I say, who do Namia said, Elia, not in the Bible, I don't know who the years, but then you tell you, Nansa, Baka. So we want you like, never to have a grow by. Never tell you, Nansa can study, we are going to what. Namia for me, he oil you are making, not to fuel, not oil, quite in the annual, and quite with Namia Finu, found in Namia Finu, not to free a software, who would give you a show, or someone there, I am 19 preacher, or a straight to feel that day. The medical story, you know, but I walk to the demons, ever got to not shop on the property, so, which will prefer that you know, so good so. That's different to the someone who preaching or different to the I am in the demonic sign of women of that. Now, fighting men, she and your said, not company, then we are paying. Now, the son is a study, Mr. America, and Yamaha, near Kufuabi, I have to buy a PhD, let it go to Supreme Court. Only I'm going to be a Supreme Court. And what is the other one? Because often comes at 45 and 145, they say in the killer. And I think one of the friends of criminal, with Yana Press to say, now I get on a petty amount. You are petty amount. I didn't know criminal or the four would kill me. And we didn't kill no petty amount of phones like the egg amount. But I got a book of you. Let me see the day, and two clearing, and two hungry. But I mean now, not Pabra, but Conqueror, and the other training. The union of people. And we are also being come with our bye bye.
Nyame Israel so pa eye pastor Kumi Achiel na adofo yete ne nka no na enya asemketwa kra enya asemketwa pastor Kumi Achiel na yete ne nka no adofo me ba me try say out of Fanchame now screen and Nina star vinti o Fanchame out of da obibia ase edo obibia ase se osunya mre na otie also na won share program na wa share program dia ma obi ye de dwumade ni nyina esi obibia en share program no na se opeso favorite nso a ame no mompaye within a twinkling of an eye nefa Kristo Yesu why ebebo papa pa Yesu se okra ene waje nkwa evansa to akoma so me mompaye kaserade Yesu ene dey maji atum se oba asasi so na obi wuye ayesie o ane nansa so no onyankopon nya ne wufra wufuo mu ene fa me boni nyina echeme after some nenam ye kojeje anointing oil ne mo man fa makoma anhwehwe wo humimobo na fa me boni echeme na atresem ne se eya no ne de pamu ka ekonkwaje mu atatrema so ne de ka mu eso eka eko eye tenene mu ene a me bɔ mpa yi fa omogya ne hohoro me bɔne na twiro me din ɛwɔ nkwa manim enka me bɔne bio na fa wo nsa ka ɛyɛ honhom bi a ɛte me mu amenya wɔgye ba eda wase ɛwɔ Yesu Kristo Nazareth di mu nti amen adɔfo ɛda onyame ase ɛbere no ɛkɔ paa ɛbɛsa ehyia in case otie a nyame boa adwoada ɛyɛ heavenly announcement ɛne ɛde bɛba na ɛyɛ ukuada nso ɛde heaven and hell ɛtumi aba na ɛyɛ efiada heavenly announcement asaba bio na memene da so heaven and hell program so asaba onyame nhyira wo ɛnkyena nyame boa kyerɛ nyame boa yɛbɛhyia wɔ asɔre ɛkyerɛ nyame boa yɛbɛhyia wɔ asɔre ɛnɛ enso about 10 to 11 Holland ɛna Holland, Belgium, and France for Ubishia on Paibu fee. Holland, France, and Belgium, Ubishia on Paibu fee. Yamin Shira Munina, no new Bibia Comaswadi and Famano. It shall Bibia or a platform is one say now was say. Yamin and Camo, Sister Mary Nyakon, Yamin Inshao, Yenuaba, Mame Sewa, Eradi Inshano, Sister Joycelyn, Yamin Inshamo. Mone team no nyame boa ebese hye bio na momo abae